What's up everybody, my name's Grace. Welcome back to another YouTube video, and in this one today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 mini projects that I made with my Cricut Joy. Now before we jump into the crafting, full disclosure, this is a sponsored video with Cricut and JB Hi-Fi. They provided me with all of the materials that I'll be using in these projects. The Cricut Joy is available at JB Hi-Fi, as well as a pretty large selection of materials, which I will put down in the description for you to check out. As somebody who considers themselves an absolute novice when it comes to crafting, the Cricut Joy is actually an amazing tool to look like you know what you're doing. I am not a good crafter. I am definitely an absolute beginner, and the Cricut Joy allows me to actually create really cool looking stuff. So now, hopefully your expectations are quite low and I can blow your mind with my amazing crafts. I'll be showing you how to make some anime eyes for your VR headset, an iron-on transfer for your mousepad, and a decal for an RGB headset stand. So with that being said, let's head out of the office, let's head over to the crafting station, aka my kitchen. So the first part of the process is obviously figuring out what you want to put onto your VR headset. I knew I wanted to do eyes because I just think that would look hilarious and adorable. So in the Cricut Access app, I went in and searched eyes. As you can see, there were hundreds of results, and I found these really cute anime crying eyes to use. Once you found something that you like, you just hit insert and it will go into your canvas. Then I would recommend measuring whatever it is that you're about to stick this to make sure that you get the proportions just right. Once you're sure that you've got the right measurements, you can hit make and you can select exactly what materials you're going to be working with. We'll be using the Smart Vinyl Permanent in black. I think the white and black contrast is going to look amazing. And if you're ever unsure about what materials you're working with, maybe you've thrown away the box, most of the materials will have what they are on the back side of them. Then we're going to load it in and the machine is going to measure to see if you've got enough materials. If you won't, it'll let you know. Otherwise, you should be good to go. And then it will start cutting. Depending on how complex your design is, obviously it'll take longer to cut. This one was pretty simple, so it only took a few seconds. I would then recommend that you cut it down to size and cut off as much excess as you can. This will make the weeding process a lot simpler, and you'll also save your materials. And then it is just a matter of weeding it out, taking off all of the excess. One thing that I would recommend for this, depending again how complex your design is, having the image next to you on your Access app so you can see exactly which bits you need to keep and which bits to weed out. After that, you're going to grab your Cricut transfer tape, cut it down to size, and then you're going to stick it on top. This is basically going to transfer your vinyl from the backing sheet to the sticker so that you can put it onto your VR headset. One tip that I will give is to make sure that whatever you are working with is clean. So step 1, make sure your hands are clean, but step 2 is make sure whatever you're putting your sticker onto, make sure that is clean too, because then the vinyl will stick a lot better. Once you've got your transfer tape down, what you're going to want to do is use the squeegee to make sure that it sticks to the transfer tape. This can take a little while depending on how complex your design is and how many little tiny parts there are. Just take a lot of care and a lot of time making sure that you're squeegeeing it and making sure everything sticks. Once you're confident that it's all sucked down, start to peel it off very slowly. If there are any little bits that don't stick, just place it back down and squeegee some more. And then the scary and fun part is sticking it onto your headset or whatever it is that you're making. Take a lot of care, just make sure that it's right the first time, because it's not the best thing pulling it up, because this vinyl is very, very sticky and it's very hard to reposition if you stick it down and it's in the wrong place. Then as you did with the transfer tape, make sure you smooth it out. You can use a squeegee on a flat surface, but the VR headset's a little bit curved, so easier to just use your hands and yeah, just squeegee it out, smooth it out, and then peel it off again very, very slowly. Also at an angle helps a lot. And you should have your finished VR headset with anime eyes. I'm so happy with how this one turned out. I think it is absolutely adorable. So now that that one is done, let's move on to project number 2, which is the gaming mousepad. As with the first project, we're going to go in and find a fun image to use from the Cricut Access app. I found this cool Control Z one, which I just thought was kind of funny to have onto a mousepad. And one thing I learned today was that you can go in on the canvas and change the color of the cut so you can get a better idea of how your design will look. I changed mine to silver because we'll be using the Smart Iron-On in silver, so it gave me a better visualization of what the final product will look like. As with the first project, we did a quick measure, figured out where we're going to put it, but with this one, it is slightly different. When we go into the make area, you want to make sure that you hit the top left button and make sure for anything iron-on that you mirror the design. Otherwise, when you place it down, it will be backwards. And I'm definitely not speaking from experience. And with the iron-on material, make sure you're putting it the shiny side down, so the matte side will be facing up when you load it into your machine. The Cricut Joy will do its thing. It will measure your materials, start the cut. Something that took me a few goes to figure out when I first got the machine was remembering to press the unload button. If you don't press that, the machine will not let go of your material, no matter how hard you tug on it. So make sure you hit unload, then you are free to start cutting and weeding your material. While you're weeding your design, that's a good chance to warm up your Easy Press Mini. It doesn't take very long, but it's better to be ready. Now is the time to prep your mouse pad. So for this one, we're going to pop a towel down so we don't burn our benches. We're going to pop the mouse pad down and we're just going to pre-warm the area of where the design's going to go for about 10 to 15 seconds. We'll then grab some baking paper to use on top of the iron-on transfer and then carefully pop down the design in place. Once we're satisfied with the placement, we're going to pop the baking paper on top of that and then slowly heat up the area side to side with our Easy Press Mini, making sure that we're being very careful of our fingers and anything that is not the iron-on transfer. Do this for about 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how big your design is. Make sure that you've covered the whole area a few times, and then we're going to let it cool before we touch it. Once it has cooled down, take off the baking paper and then slowly peel back the plastic from the transfer, and you'll see it's revealing this absolutely stunning silver iron-on transfer. This looks so clean. Again, I love the high contrast with the silver and the black mouse mat. It looks so clean, and I think we could all use an undo button. And there we have our finished mouse pad. I can't wait to get this into my setup. I think it's so adorable. And once I have it in my setup, I can show you it plugged in with my mouse and everything with the RGBs on. But now it's time to jump into our final project, the RGB headset stand. We're going to jump back into the Cricut Access images search. I searched up headphones and found this really cute "Kindness is my jam" image. I think it's a beautiful message and I think it's very fitting for a headset stand. So we're going to go with that, but we don't have this particular color. I'm going to change it to something that is closer to what I'll be using. So I'm going to do a white base. I kept it black just so it was easier for all of you to see, but we're going to change the little love hearts to this really beautiful gold vinyl. Once we've got our colors set, we're going to go in and just double check, do a quick little measure of our headset stand to make sure that we don't waste any of our materials. And then once we're happy with the size, we're going to go to print. So the only difference with this one is there's going to be 2 separate cuts because we have 2 different colors. And then later we're going to layer them on top of each other to complete the design. Once the love hearts are cut, we're going to unload our material and put in the white vinyl. And this is a perfect example of the fact that you don't need a whole heck of a lot of materials to create really cool stuff. This little piece of vinyl may have been considered an offcut, but instead we've made use of it and we're going to turn it into a really cute decal. As always, the Cricut Joy will double check your material and make sure you do have enough. At this point, we are basically a professional with vinyl, so we're going to do the usual weeding, transfer tape, etc. And we're going to get this onto the headset stand. This one was definitely a tiny bit trickier to weed because of the very small parts of the inside of the writing, but it was no worries, and we just had to take that little bit of extra care when using the squeegee on the transfer tape to make sure those tiny little bits didn't get lost. So with 2 different colors, obviously we have to layer them. So starting with the white base, we're going to pop that on first, and then once we're satisfied with the placement, take off the transfer tape, and then we're going to layer on the little gold love hearts. Depending on how confident you are, you can absolutely do something with 5 or 6 or 7 different colors, but we're going to keep it nice and simple for this video and just do the 2. But you can see how just those 2 different colors together really makes it pop. I love how this looks. I love the message. I think it's absolutely perfect for this headset stand. So there you have it. That is our 3 crafts all done. We did the virtual reality headset with the anime eyes, which is my personal favorite. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I think it's going to look so funny when I'm actually playing VR. It's going to look like I'm really sad about it when I'm actually really stoked. Our second craft was the RGB Mousepad. I love how this looks. I love how much the silver pops on the black background. The Control Z's kind of quirky and kind of funny, and I'm really impressed by how well the iron-on goes on. You can barely feel the edge of it. It is super seamless. I think it looks great. And last but not least, we have our super positive, heartwarming headset stand with the "Kindness is my jam" message. I love that. I think the design's beautiful. It pops really nicely with my super vibrant gaming headset. And just like that, the crafting is done. I hope that shows how low the barrier to entry is with the Cricut Joy. Everything is just a joy to make, and I'm so happy with the outcome. This one especially, I think the VR eyes are probably the favorite thing that I made. I'd love to know down below, out of the 3 things that I made, what is your favorite? But that is where I'm going to wrap up the video for today. I hope this gave you some confidence to try a Cricut machine, because like I said, I'm an absolute novice, absolute beginner crafter, and we made some really cool stuff today. And that is absolutely a testament to the power of the Cricut Joy. Thank you so much again to Cricut and JB Hi-Fi for sponsoring this video. I always have an absolute blast doing crafting because it's a little out of my element and it's something different to bring to my audience. But I sincerely hope all of you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or want to tell me what you would make, let me know down in the comments below. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video or in my next Twitch stream. Bye!